we were rushing towards the lab, and everyone seemed to be quite anxious about what could be asked, or what experiment they might be asked to perform. And while we were about to enter, everyone were let in except me. They said, "Where is your lab coat?" I said, oh. And I could say nothing. They said, "No lab coat, no entry. You're not allowed, man." It was a hope moment for me, because this was the class 12th standard board pre-examination of Viva, that is the internal examination of practical, and I had forgotten my lab coat. And this was not the first time. I would say this is my clumsiness. It was the second time I'd forgotten the white apron, or lab coat as they say. And I was so nervous because everyone else except me was there inside, had started the chemistry practicals, and there was a specific time. I was quite sure that even if I enter into the room or lab, they won't allow the extra time in. So there was this sense of urgency. I started running around, and I traveled to and fro, ran up the stairs and downstairs, and in all the class I was announcing shamelessly, "Has anyone got the lab coat? Has anyone got the lab coat?" And probably the lowest standard, that is the 11th class, the junior section, I announced the same thing with audacity, and one of the girls came forward, and probably she happened to know me, and I don't remember who gave me the coat. She gave me the coat. I didn't even care who she was. I just ran around and again showed up myself in front of the lab compounder, and he said, "Okay, why are you so careless, and you haven't brought your lab coat on the day of your examination? That's really disappointing. Anyways, just go there, take your slip, and see what element have you got." So there was a system of picking a slip. On that you get the number, not the compound. You get a number, and there is some powder in which you mix various solutions, and there are various procedures, like for group 1 elements, group 2, group 3, group 5, and up to it goes up to group 7. So all these things, there are procedure that you put some things and mix this, and maybe shake it a little bit. There's precipitate, there's a silvery appearance on the outside, there's the color change of pink, there's no change of pink, there is a kind of foam, or the evaporation kind of phenomenon, all these things. And I was I'm quite sure I wasn't prepared for all those. I thought I would be lucky. I need not prepare until the class, the group 7 elements. I was quite sure that, okay, group 2 or 3 or maximum 4, this will work. And first, second and third I remembered clearly, but I tried all those procedures and there was no result. And I could see all my classmates had started leaving. They were not many left around, and I was clueless, sitting on my bench and trying to figure out what to do. And one by one, everyone started leaving. Even my closest friend, they were leaving. It was very much disappointing and disheartening that all they have got, they were able to trace out the element, and I was not. And now there was the entire silence. It's just me staring hopelessly on the powder, and on the other end there was this compounder, or the lab attendant. He came to me, and I said to him, "Would you please help? I don't know what is happening here, so you can just check in and tell me if that is possible for you, if that's somehow possible for you to tell me which compound it is." He asked me the number, went to the other side and said lead nitrate. I read the lead nitrate, and somehow I put some theory behind it. Okay, that this is the procedure to check the possibility of the presence of class or group 7 element. This was a different experience, though I will say it was largely due to my inattention or the insincerity towards a big moment that landed me in such difficult situations, and not always we are so lucky that some angel will come and will help you out and pull you out of this situation. Maybe that time the lab attendant was the angel for me, the savior who saved my day and my practical, because if that had been ruined, I don't know, they might have awarded me D or E or F. That was really, really a bad day. I came late. Everyone asked me what happened, how was it. I said, oh yeah, it's fine. There was no point of telling them this. I had created such a mess and I was such a failure in my vibe and practical, because had it been the case, they would have surely commented or criticized me for my attitude and my insincerity towards such a big moment. Anyways, this experience was different, and our help had come from an unexpected source that I remember up to this day. And later on, when I entered into my college, I was chatting with a girl, and she happened to my junior, and one day she said, you have met me. I said, I don't know, I'm not sure whether I have seen you. I think I might have seen you, but I would not have cared to look carefully. And she said, would you like to know an experience? Yes. Well, I'm the girl who had offered you the lab coat. Wow, I said, big thanks to you that you came forward and just let me in that door, because I would not have been able to show my face to my colleagues and my parents had I been forbidden from that lab that day. And what if I had been awarded the F? All my plans to enter some college without a proper passage into my academics would have been a totally impossibility. Anyways, everything went fine and I got admitted into one of the premium institute, that is NIT Hamirpur. 4 years went fine and I was placed into NT construction. That was way forward, and it's been a decade since we passed on from the college. Remember? So that's the experience, cherished, relished, and remember for. That's all from my side today. There you go. Bye. Take care.